Good morning, one and all. I am Dr. Lalitha, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. I am going to deal about the subject Basic Electrical and Electronic Engineering. So, in this subject, in this PPT, I am going to cover about the topic Overview of Basic Fundamentals. So, this is divided into 5 modules. The overall Basic Electrical and Electronic Engineering videos are divided into 5 modules, and the first module deals with electrical circuits. So, in these electrical circuits, the topics which I am going to discuss are basic definitions. So, basic definitions include what is voltage, what is current, what is power. So, before going to all these important terms like voltage, current and power, what is meant by charge, what is meant by electricity. So, all these basic definitions we are going to deal about. So, next important definitions were Ohm's law. So, this is the primary law which we are going to know in order to know about the basic electrical and electronics engineering. So, Ohm's law and different types of elements. So, what are different types of elements and how many types of elements are there in order to construct a circuit. So, all those we are going to deal here. And the next topic which we are going to discuss are types of sources. So, there are different types of sources, as we all know that they are DC source, AC source. So, about all these sources, what is the difference in between the AC and DC? So, all those topics we are going to discuss about. So, next important topic was Kirchhoff's laws. So, these Kirchhoff's laws are divided into 2 types, KVL and KCL. So, what is KVL? What is KCL? So, what are the statements of KVL and KCL and what are the equations of KVL and KCL? So, all those we are going to discuss about. So, next one was series and parallel resistive circuits. So, what is a circuit? What are the elements? As I had told you, we will explain about different types of elements like R, L and C. So, in that, with the resistive networks, how we are going to connect the resistances, inductances and capacitances in series and parallel, and what are the equations of those, all those we are going to discuss about in this topic. So, next one was star to delta and delta to star transformation. So, what is meant by star? What is meant by delta? How we are going to convert from star to delta and delta to star, and how these transformations can be useful for transmission of electrical energy. So, all those we are going to discuss about in this module 1. So, these are the main topics which we are going to deal in electrical circuits of module 1. So, in the next module, Module 2 deals with the DC machines. So, these DC machines are classified into 2 types. They are DC generators and DC motors. So, in the DC generators, we are going to discuss about the construction of a DC machine. So, what is a DC machine? What is the construction of a DC machine and how we are going to generate the EMF with the help of the DC generator? All those we are going to discuss about. Next one was how the DC generator will operate. What is the working principle of DC generator? Next one was what is EMF. So, before going to that, we are going to discuss about the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. What is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction and how an EMF was generated with the help of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and what is the EMF equation of a DC generator we are going to discuss. And also in the generators, we are going to discuss about the DC generators. So, DC generators are mainly classified into 2 types. They are self-excited and separately excited. So, again self-excited are classified into 3 types: shunt, series and compound. So, we are going to discuss about each and every generator in detail. So, next topic was DC motors. So, what is a DC motor? So, what is the principle of DC motor and what is the operation, how the motor will operate? So, we are going to discuss about these topics. Next one was types of DC motors. Similar to the DC generators, DC motors are also classified into different types. So, what are the different types of DC motors and how each type of motor will operate? All those we are going to discuss about. So, next one was torque equation. So, what is torque? how the torque will be generated, all those we will discuss about. After that, we are going to discuss about the torque equation of the DC motor. And finally, we are going to discuss about the losses of the DC motor. So, what are the losses which will occur in a DC machine? So, all these topics we are going to discuss in the case of DC machines. So, this is all about the module 2. So, next, coming to the module 3. So, in the module 2, we had discussed about the DC machines. Now, in the module 3, we are going to discuss about the AC machines. So, in these AC machines, initially we are going to discuss about transformers. So, as we all listened about the word transformer. So, in our day-to-day life also, we are going to listen about this word. So, what is a transformer? So, how we are using the transformer in different ways. So, before going to learn that, we are going to learn about the working principle of transformer. What is the principle of transformer and how the transformer can be constructed, and what are the different types of transformers which we are having, and what are the types of transformers which we can use for the transmission, generation as well as the distribution. All those we are going to discuss about. So, after that, we are going to discuss about the EMF equation of a transformer. So, how the EMF equation will be generated and what is the EMF equation of the transformer we are going to discuss about. So, later we are going to discuss about the losses in the transformer. So, every machine will have a losses. Similarly, transformer is also having loss. So, what are the different types of losses in the transformer and what is the regulation of the transformer, how the efficiency can be calculated in the transformer, all those we are going to discuss in this topic of transformers. So, later we are going to discuss about the induction motors. So, what is induction motor? So, what is the principle of operation of the induction motor? So, we are going to discuss about. So, after that, we are going to discuss about the slip in the induction motor. So, what is meant by slip? How the slip will be generated in the induction motor? What is the function of slip in the induction motor? All those we are going to discuss about. So, later we are going to discuss about the torque equation. So, what is torque? How the torque will be generated in the case of DC motor, and what is the torque equation of the DC motor? After that, we are going to learn about the torque slip characteristics of induction motor. What is the relation in between the torque and slip and the characteristics of torque and slip we are going to discuss about. So, after all these three modules, module 4 consists of rectifiers. So, what is a rectifier? What is a rectifier and how we are going to use this rectifier? What is the purpose of rectifier which we are using at present? All these we are going to discuss about in this module 4. So, in this module 4, the first topic and the major topic which we are discussing about is PN junction diode. So, what is a diode? What is the function of diode? After that, we are going to discuss about the PN junction diode. So, what is a PN junction diode? What is Zener diode? So, why we are going for the Zener diode? After that, what is a rectifier? What is the actual function of the rectifier? What is the circuit diagram of the rectifier? What is the operation of the rectifier? So, all those we will discuss. So, later on, we are going to discuss about the half-wave rectifier. So, what is half-wave rectifier? So, what is the operation of half-wave rectifier? What are the equations, means average value, RMS value. So, all those we are going to learn in this module. So, later on we are going to discuss about the full wave rectifier. So, what is a full wave rectifier? What is the circuit diagram of the full wave rectifier? Why we are going for the full wave rectifier? What is the advantage of full wave rectifier? All those we will discuss. So, next one was bridge rectifier. So, what is meant by bridge rectifier? So, how many types of full wave rectifier are there? So, generally there are two types of full wave rectifier are there. So, in that center tapped is there, bridge rectifier is there. So, we will discuss about both of them. So, later on we will discuss about the filters. So, what is a filter? What is the function of filter? What is the inductive filter and what is the capacitive filter? So, what is the function of these two filters in the circuits? So, all these we are going to discuss in this module 4. So, module 5, coming to the module 5 deals with the transistors. So, what is a transistor, what is the function of transistor and how we can use the transistors in the circuits, all those we will discuss in this module. So this bipolar junction transistor is divided into two types. They are NPN and PNP transistors. So we will learn about the construction of NPN and PNP transistors in detail in this module. Later on, we are going to discuss about the common base configuration of the transistor, common emitter configuration of the transistor, and common collector configuration of the transistor, along with two types of characteristics for each configuration. They are input and output characteristics. So what are input characteristics? What are output characteristics for common base configuration and common emitter configuration and common collector configuration? So for these three, we are going to learn about the input and output characteristics and the operation of different types of configurations. So at last, we are going to discussing about how the transistor is acting as an amplifier. So we are going to end our subject with this topic of transistor acts as an amplifier. So with this, we will going to complete the basic electrical and electronics engineering course. That's all for today's session. We'll meet in the next session with module 1. Thank you.